Welcome back to the program. Now to some of your stories in brief. We begin with the Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, who's one of the early callers at the scene of the fire disaster this morning as he examined the extent of damage done. He says integrity tests will be conducted on the buildings in the area. It's the morning after the raging fire that burnt down 2 buildings in the popular Oluwole Market, Lagos Island. And of course, we hear that smoke is still billowing from one of the buildings. Firefighters are still on ground with heavy-duty cranes and equipment spraying water into the areas where smoke is being detected. Elsewhere, the Taraba State Governor, Darius Ishaku, has asked the Federal Road Safety Corps in the state to arrest motorcycle riders who contravene the law banning the use of motorcycles in the state capital. According to him, criminals in the state use it to perpetrate crimes such as kidnapping, theft, armed robbery, and others. And President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the appointment of Dr. Sarah Alade as Special Advisor to the President on Finance and the Economy, domiciled on the Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning. Dr. Alade retired from the Central Bank of Nigeria as Deputy Governor in 2017 after spending 23 years in the Apex Bank. She had also acted briefly in 2014 as the CBN Governor. And finally, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mr. Boss Mustafa, says teamwork is key for good governance. He says, he was making this point while speaking at a 2-day retreat for commissioners designates and political appointees of Gombe State Government. The SGF stressed the need for the state government to align its development agenda in line with approved 9 priority areas of the federal government. And to our breaking story, the Court of Appeal in Kaduna State has nullified the election of Senate spokesperson, Mr. Dayo Adeyeye, and upheld the tribunal judgment which declared Senator Biodun Olujimi and the candidate of the People's Democratic Party winner of the Ekiti South senatorial election. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, had declared Mr. Dayo Adeyeye of the All Progressives Congress as winner of the February 23, 2019 National Assembly election, but Senator Olujimi challenged the results at the tribunal on grounds that she scored the highest number of votes cast. Now, in her petition, Senator Olujimi asked the tribunal to nullify Mr. Adeye's victory on grounds that the election was marred by massive irregularities. The tribunal, in its judgment, nullified elections in some polling units and declared Mrs. Olujimi the authentic winner of the polls. Mr. Adeyeye and his party, APC, then filed a petition at the Court of Appeal asking it to set aside the ruling of the lower court. But the judges of the appellate court unanimously upheld the judgment of the tribunal, ordering INEC to issue fresh certificate of return to Senator Biodun Olujimi. The Kano State Governor, Abdullahi Ganduje, has officially sworn in new commissioners to form his executive cabinet after 6 months since his swearing in May 2019 for a second term in office. The event, which took place at the Sani Abacha Indoor Stadium, has in attendance hundreds of political party supporters, families of new commissioners and well-wishers. But among those who made it for the second time include Alhaji Murtala Sule Garo for the Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Mukhtar Ishaq, Ministry of Special Duties, while the State Deputy Governor is to oversee the State's Ministry for Agriculture. The Governor, after the swearing-in, also had the first cabinet meeting with new cabinet members. Well, let's now join our correspondent Idris Jibrin. He joins us live from Kano to give us some updates. Idris, we understand that the 2020 budget for Kano State is in the works today.
Thank you, Millicent. Like you know, the political situation in Kano is taking yet another dimension. It's exactly 6 months since Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje was sworn into office, of course without cabinet. Now, yesterday, multiple events took place in Kano. 21 commissioners were screened yesterday. They were sworn in yesterday. They were presented with letters of appointment, and they were also given portfolio. And also, the first State Executive Council meeting was conducted yesterday shortly after the swearing-in ceremony. And it is also expected that tomorrow Governor Abdullahi Ganduje will present the 2020 proposed budget to the State House of Assembly. Therefore, the people of Kano State have so much expectations on this administration. Some are saying that the governor may not be able to finish the project he has started, talking about creating another one. Some are saying no, the governor will be able to finish his project that he has started and will initiate another one. That is also on the other part of the government saying that no, they will finish the project and they will initiate other projects. You can also see that there is the issue of free and compulsory education in Kano State, which also comprises the issue of Almajiri system of education. So all in all, I can tell you that with the cabinet in place, I think if the budget is presented tomorrow, things will pick up as usual here in Kano State.
Many thanks, Idris Jibrin, live there in Kano for that update. Elsewhere, Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka has asked the federal government to take a decisive action against Boko Haram, armed herdsmen and the Islamic State in West Africa, saying they are terrorizing Nigerians. Professor Soyinka made the call in Makurdi, the Benue state capital, while meeting with the state governor after his visit to an internally displaced persons camp.
First it was Boko Haram, then it is these herdsmen, wherever they came from. And then recently there's ISWAP. It strikes me that a holistic approach has to be taken. It's not the responsibility of Benue alone. It's not the responsibility of the affected states alone. It's a national responsibility. And I hope that this government, having seen the result of taking things easy when they should be taken by the throat and tackled very decisively, now that they've seen how violence calls to violence, how impunity calls to impunity, because this is the mentality which led to this takeover, virtual takeover of order by a philosophy of disorder.
But his host, Governor Otom, says he is again filing a formal complaint to the Department of State Services, calling for the arrest of the president of Mieti Allah Katol, who allegedly threatened states like Benue that are opposed to the establishment of Ruga settlements.
I invited the police and the security agencies to arrest the chairman of Mieti Allah Cotton Hore. Is it chairman or president, but he should be arrested because there is no hate speech more than the one he said and was given wide publicity that governors who do not embrace Capital Colony and Ruga will not know peace. We have seen it before, so why should we allow a person like this to go scot-free in impunity if we want to live as a country? This should not be allowed. I'm making a formal petition to the Inspector General of Police and the DGSS and the Presidency to ensure that this man is arrested.
And on social media, the Protection from Internet Falsehood and Manipulations Bill 2019, it has been introduced in the Senate. The bill, which passed first reading, seeks to prevent the spreading and broadcasting of falsehood and manipulations using social media platforms via internet broadcast and transmission. The bill lays out several provisions prohibiting the transmission of false statements and prescribes penalties for defaulters upon conviction, ranging from fines of up to 300,000 naira for individuals and then 10 million naira for others, and imprisonment of up to 3 years. Speaking to journalists at the National Assembly, the sponsor of the bill, Senator Musa Sani, says the provisions of the bill are to apply throughout the Federation.
The xenophobic attacks that you're seeing, what triggered it much? The social media. Misinformation. Ours is the negative part of that information that we want to see that there is a law that guided it. So we need legislations that will guide that. And part of it is that we said you as an individual that have your phone and you can just go into your room and test, and just draft something that you know is false and you send it out. And you that have the platform as a group that will read that and you know very well that this is not true, and you decide to disseminate it too, and also you that operate as the transmitter.
Well, that's the show. But just before we go, a story that came in, the Court of Appeal in Kaduna State has nullified the election of Senate spokesperson Mr. Dayo Adeyeye and upheld the tribunal judgment declaring Senator Abiodun Olujimi the candidate of the People's Democratic Party winner of the Ekiti South senatorial election. That's it on the program. Thank you for watching. I'm Millicent Walker. I'll see you soon.